two towns not only separated by a river but also by race, their only connection being the bridge that diverges through them. The Other Side of the River is a non-fiction book written by Alex Koltowitz and published in 1998. Koltowitz investigates the death of Eric McGinnis in a small town in Michigan called Benton Harbor, which is known for being a predominantly black and impoverished community. On the other side of the river is St. Joseph, which is a predominantly white and wealthy community, and is the polar opposite of Benton Harbor.
In May of 1991, Eric McGinnis, a 16-year-old boy and resident of Benton Harbor, was found drowned on the shore of St. Joseph's side of the river. Over the course of 6 years, the author investigates the death of Eric through talking to many people who had a connection to his death. Many people in the two towns had suspicions and theories, many contradicting each other. During Koltowitz's time of speaking to members of each community, he became caught up in a flurry of rumors and false speculation surrounding Eric's death. Throughout the book, Koltowitz has trouble determining the truth between all the lies. This leaves the reader up to piecing together clues on their own.
The towns have always had racial issues due to its immense segregation between the two communities. Each town has always stereotyped and thought the worst of each other. As a result of their rocky history, residents of Benton Harbor believed Eric's death was racially motivated because he was in St. Joseph when he died. However, everyone in St. Joseph believed Eric's death was merely accidental. The author describes the effects of Eric's death at the beginning of the novel. Koltowitz states, Eric's death did not drive a wedge between the two communities. That wedge had already been driven deep, nor did it complicate relations between the races. They were already twisted and knotted in ways that local residents had become resigned to. It did, however, serve as a defining moment for the two towns. The discovery of Eric's body shattered any illusion that they shared much more than the St. Joseph River.
Even though Eric's death was never solved, it left a rippling effect on each community. It opened the eyes of many townspeople to the clear divide between Benton Harbor and St. Joseph. Eric's family and friends were forced to continue on with their lives and left with many unsolved questions.
In the prelude of the story, Koltowitz paints a picture for the readers of the drastic split between the communities and the immense effects that Eric's death had on them. The events surrounding Eric's death should ring familiar to all of us, both black and white, the confusion and the understanding, the despair and the hope, the disconnections and, indeed, the connections. With all that in mind, I set out to find out how Eric ended up in the town's strongest connection of all, the river. Our book group would definitely recommend reading The Other Side of the River, because it gives you a different perspective on race and segregation in the modern world. And if you like true crime mystery novels, then this is the book for you. Maybe you can figure out what happened to Eric McGinnis.